Welcome to Passion Theory. If my husband would stop stomping around upstairs. Anyway, so one of my passions is canning. These are my canning cabinets. I am down in my basement. I will show you what I have canned. All of these things. And all of these things. Just a minute and we'll go through them. This has got to be one of my favorite things I have discovered. Pickled celery. It is incredibly cheap, because celery is cheap. So it's very cheap to make, even if you can't grow your own garden and you're on a budget. Pickled celery is very, very good. It's so good. I have dilly beans. These are green beans. Sometimes I get enough from my garden to do some. These are actually our garden ones. And sometimes I don't, because these are my husband's favorite things. They're a little spicy. These are dill pickles. They're from our garden. The cucumbers are from our garden. And I do typically dill pickles, sweet pickles, and bread and butter pickles. But this year I just did the dill because we had a much smaller cucumber harvest this year. I know this is really orange and you're like, what is that? It's just tomato sauce made with just orange tomatoes. We have over 40 varieties of tomatoes that we grow. And so I took all the orange varieties and made an orange tomato sauce with them. Just to, have some color variation. The taste is a little sweeter than the reds, I'd say. I have Blackberry Jam that I made from our blackberries. Where I live, blackberries are basically a weed and no one wants them and they cut them all down. But I just grow them on a lattice, and so they're easy to harvest, and then you can make blackberry jam. Here we have some apple butter. I also have applesauce and pear butter and pear sauce. We have Asian pears, makes really good pear sauce and pear butter. And I'll tell you the big difference between pear butter and apple butter, and applesauce and pear sauce. You take your applesauce and then you cook it longer and it becomes apple butter. The end. So this is the tomato sauce. That's just red tomatoes. Let's see. I guess it's hard to tell the difference in color here. Well, not so much. But there you go. Red tomatoes, orange tomatoes. And we've got some salsa. I don't know if we've used it all, but I also have some green salsa that I made from tomatillos, because we grow tomatillos. Here's some salsa. This is pickled peppers from our peppers. These are banana peppers from our garden. And here we have blueberry jam and strawberry jam. This one's separated a little, but my strawberry jam always separates, but when I mix it together, it's fine. The blueberries and strawberries were not from our garden this year. Our harvest was too small, unfortunately. Sometimes it's not. So I had to go purchase these guys when they were on sale so I could have some. And here is the salsa verde I was talking about, made with the tomatillos. I do store my cans without the rings on them, so that way if there's ever a seal damage around here, this pops off. It can't reseal and create a false seal and trap things inside. It will just be off. The ring can trap it on there. And if the ring is on it and this pops off, it will reseal sometimes. I also do not stack them on top of each other for the same reason. I make sure I have these handy dandy shelf risers. This is apple butter, and this is apple sauce. They're just a little bit darker. I will have recipes for all these guys. I'm going to make some recipes for these and show you how to make them. Different ones. I usually have a lot more variety. I've done chutneys, and I've done like raspberry lemonade jam, and I've done diced tomatoes. I didn't do any diced tomatoes this year. I've also done a lot of things like pie fillings and things of that nature, but this year I kind of just stuck with mostly what was in the garden, and this is not a lot actually between these two cabinets. Last year I made about twice this much, and we used everything by the time it was canning time for this year. So I am glad that it's not done. I still have kiwi season and fig season to get through, and then all of my winter canning. In the winter I do a lot of pickled cauliflower. That's typically when I do my pickled celery, but I did it early this year before the fall harvest instead. I do give a lot of these out as Christmas presents and things like that to my friends and family. So yeah, that is my canning hoard for right now. I will tell you when I've added to it.